So, Ash Sarkar has been in the news yet again, and to be honest, before I get into it, I'm just really fed up with her. Like, she's just become this annoyance, this constant on my Twitter feed, in my YouTube mentions, in my notifications everywhere. I'm sick of seeing her. Guys, I think we need to get to the point where we need to start seriously thinking about not giving this woman attention, because that's what she thrives on. She's a professional grifter. She blows with the wind. She's there purely to cause trouble. She's purely there to rile people on the right up. And a lot of you constantly fall for it because she's effective. She is naturally a very annoying person. That is her personality. That is how she presents herself. And that is why she can be, if used correctly by the left, a very good tool to make right-wingers, to make centrists, to make any of their opposition look like them. And by looking like them, I mean snowflakes. Because as we know, it is them who constantly are the ones getting offended at practically everything. But when they can turn it on their opposition, then it makes them look better. Because they can say, well, they're saying that we're the snowflakes who are constantly offended at everything and want to police everything. Look at these guys getting offended at clear and obvious jokes. We thought we were the snowflakes, but it's pretty clear that it's just projection, and that is what she's used for. And not only that, she's used to suggest to the general normie public who perhaps don't follow politics as closely as the artists like us on the internet do, that socialists, people like her, well no, she's a straight up full-on Marxist socialist, so she's a communist, that these people are the mainstream, that this is generally normal political discourse. She is from a, liberal background. This is just normal, sane politics. She's the sane one in the room. It's people like Boris Johnson, Mark Greggs Francois, that are the outsiders. They're the ones that are the extremists, not the communist that is looking for worldwide revolution, not the one who believes in the ideology that killed 100 million people and counting, not the ideology that oppresses people utterly in a totalitarian fashion. Oh, hell no, no. It's the Conservatives. But of course, it doesn't fool everybody because, they constantly lose the elections and their takeover of the Labour Party has destroyed it utterly because, well, it's just how socialism is. It destroys everything. But again, that is what she's used for. And she can be effective if played the right way. Thankfully, for the most part, she isn't, but she is very good at riling up right-wingers and centrists and anything that the left considers to be a threat. Even other left-wingers probably get offended at. And I know I'm using a very long preface, but I just want to say, guys, try not to get offended because that's what she thrives on. She thinks she's edgy, they think she's edgy, they know she's very provocative, and she will say provocative things to get out there, and it will expand her brand, make her more popular, and we actually need to make her less popular. We need to rein her in, if possible, because she's becoming a nuisance. And it's not because I fear her or anything like that. On the contrary, I don't. Because she's so unintelligent, I don't fear her at all. I fear the people behind her, because they're the smart ones. They're the ones with the strategy. She's just a mouthpiece. She doesn't know what she's going on about half the time. So please, guys, don't take anything she says to heart. Just mock her. Use her jokes against her, because that's how you beat her. But anyway, we need to move on. Now, she's gone viral yet again because of some comments she made in a video that I can't find. I don't know where the original video is, so it's been taken out of context. But this is the clip that she says.
The white British population has decreased by 600,000, while the minority population has increased by 1.2 million. So, yes, lads, we're winning.
So that's what she's been in hot water for, at least for those of us on the other side of the culture war. Basically, she has made a racial joke about white people losing and ethnic minorities winning the demographics battle, the race war, some people might say. Now, obviously, that is a joke. It is a joke. That's how she's phrased it. And as I keep telling people, as I said in this preface, this is what she does. She will say edgy things to rile up the right. And it's very obvious that's what she's doing here. Which is why I don't want people to get out there and be outraged and say, oh, this is unacceptable, and start complaining to the BBC. One, it makes you look as bad as they do when you get your panties in a twist about the things dumb Ash Sarkar says. And two, why the hell are you complaining to the BBC? Why are people like Academic Agent seriously, yet again, suggesting to people that we should be complaining to the BBC? Because she's on there a lot. Now, I don't know if she's actually an employee of the BBC. I know she's made hundreds of guest appearances on the BBC, but I don't know if she's actually an employee there. So why would complaining to them do anything in that regard? And two, why would they get rid of her anyway? Why would they remove her from their panel shows and stop inviting her when they agree with her? We know what the true political bias of the BBC is. It's not conservatism, it's basically socialism. So what good is it going to do? Again, this plays into her hands, not yours. So I recorded this way before you're due to see this video, guys, but lo and behold, the BBC actually did what I told you they were going to do. They defended Ash Sarkar and said that they are now all of a sudden committed to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and she alone is responsible for the things she does. They're just there to platform all the different varieties of political opinions and commentators. There's not a damn thing we can do about it. And what do the idiots do instead? Oh, they double down harder and try to send another complaint to take it further. Stop being a Karen and try to be smart about this, because you're not going to influence the BBC in that way. But you know what you could do? Stop paying your TV license. Maybe that will make them think differently. It's a stupid tactic. It's not going to work. You can use all the petitions and angry letters that you want. It's not going to work. Now, this isn't even the first time she's made this a joke. Emphasis on the joke. I'm doing air quotes, guys. More on that later. She did this in 2013. And this was in response to, I think it was the census. And she basically said this: "We're winning! No swans above the M25," or whatever it was. Swans means white people. But it is a pattern, as you can see. And when I say jokes, in inverted commas, I mean jokes. Because these are jokes that are only phrased as jokes. They're actually words phrased as jokes, but they don't come from a jokey place. They come from a serious place. They come from a place where there is prejudice. She doesn't actually like white people. It's very obvious, because there was a clip that surfaced yet again where she was doing a speech and she was asking the leftists in the audience, what are the worst things in the world right now? What are the worst threats? Now, we're going to look at this clip in full, so I don't have to list off all the things that was mentioned, because there's one thing that is mentioned that is a bit of a running theme in this video.
What do you think the biggest threat to the world as we know it is today?
Donald Trump.
Ooh, 2 for Donald Trump, 3 for Trump. Anything else?
Geoengineering.
Ooh, expand. No, because I understood like one of those words, not like the first half.
Nuclear apocalypse.
Oh, nuclear apocalypse. Just talk English, fam.
That's old school.
Old school, nuclear apocalypse, Donald Trump, anything else? No one thinks there are different threats, it's just Trump and nuclear weapons. Ooh, Hillary Clinton, I like that, left field. Anything else? Laziness. Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. Anything else? Ooh, bacteria and viruses. What was it you said? People. Interesting. Anything else?
Access to food.
Access to food.
Why, like homosexual males?
Can we please talk about my dating life after this? Like, I don't feel this is appropriate, but true. Anything else? So we've got white people, nuclear bombs, Donald Trump, access to food, bacteria and viruses, nuclear bombs.
Data usage.
Ooh, data usage, big data. You know what, like, we're reaching the singularity, fam, and it's right here.
White people, guys. Yet again, it's white people. Now, again, she phrases it as a joke. They're all laughing, but does it come from a place where they're laughing with white people? Or is it against white people? Are they laughing at white people? It's the latter. They're laughing at white people because they don't like white people. They do consider white people to be a threat. These are jokes in the sense that somebody like Bernard Manning would have made them back in the day. It comes from the same place. This is 70s style prejudiced racial humour that they always go on about. She's doing the exact same jokes that they've constantly complained about comedians doing, white comedians that is, over many, many years. It's no different. And yeah, I do agree, she doesn't particularly like white people. But at the end of the day, this should be considered par for the course for people like her. These people are open about it. They've been open about it for years. At first it was the white working class, and most of you middle class right wingers scoffed and didn't give a shit because you actually share a lot of those prejudices against white trash yourselves, whether you like to admit it or not. This is where it started, and now that it's affecting the middle class white people and upper class white people, apparently it's a bad thing now, as if it was never bad before. Maybe I'm just getting off on a tangent, but this is what happens when you don't fight prejudice like this. When we only fight prejudice towards ethnic minorities and we ignore stuff that happens to other demographics. I guess that was a tangent and I should really be moving on with my closing remarks about Ash Sarkar. Seriously, can't she just crawl back under the rock where she came from? We need to just calm down. We need to poke fun at her. We need to just expose her actual prejudices. She's always going to cloak it in the veil of humour, and it's up to us to find the nuggets of information in context where she's actually showing her prejudices. Oh, and look, As if by cosmic coincidence, a clip of Ash Sarkar being serious and not exactly joking when it comes to being very negative towards white people, shall I say, has just appeared on my feed.
This next bit is just for the white people now, so viewers of colour, go make a cuppa or listen to D'Angelo. I understand the pushback. I understand that lots of white people feel annoyed by the idea that they benefit somehow from their whiteness, or that the presence of white people automatically means the presence of racism. I really understand that. But with all love and all kindness, this really isn't about you.
Now this is something that we can actually use against her seriously, not just mockery. That is something there that proves to us that yeah, she is prejudiced, she is hiding behind jokes, and ironically, this is the thing that she thinks that Count Dankula does. Now Count Dankula is not a Nazi, he's a comedian. He's a funny dude. When he did the Nazi Doug joke, it was just that, a joke. It was obviously intended to annoy Sue, his girlfriend. Well, now she's his wife. But apparently, Ash Sarkar is not doing that when she jokes about white people. No, she's just joking. She's just being edgy. But when Count Dankula does it, when it is an obvious joke, oh no, he's clearly just trying to push Nazism, obviously. But does it also mean she agrees with the great replacement theory and things like that? Does she actually believe that it would be a good thing if ethnic minorities replaced white people? Possibly. Maybe she doesn't actually believe that. Maybe she doesn't like white people, but at the end of the day, is like a hypocrite about it, like a lot of these SJWs are, and just would rather live in our country than live in a shithole third world country, so she kind of just has to deal with that. Maybe it's cognitive dissonance. I don't know. Who cares? It's just the way her and many leftist minds work. If we're going to give her attention, it should be mockery and derision, not offence and outrage, because that's what she lives on. And when she's trying to obviously bait us, we need to ignore it, because there's no point in rising to it. So anyway, guys, until next time, it's been your boy, and I will see you all later.